I'll let you know when our stream is live.
Sorry. It's just every time I move, I feel like I'm disrupting.
Alright. We are live.
I would say at least it's sunny out right now. I feel like nice sunny November that we need when everything's really busy and crazy and dark. Oh, wasn't that video good, The Danger of the Single Story?
That was really
sorry.
good. I love
So there's, we're working with an EDI specialist at Brock to try and improve it in our curriculum programs.
Maybe just go ahead, that we'll start it.
Good morning, everyone. If you are joining us online, thank you so much. We're just giving everyone a few minutes to arrive, so we'll begin in about 3 or 4 minutes. Thank you.
Can you just want to mute?
Pardon me?
Can you just hit mute?
Mute on. Yep.
Okay, good morning everyone and welcome. We're so pleased to have you here in person and online joining us for this information session about the Masters of Sustainability program. To begin, I'd like to introduce who we are. So my name is Jessica Blythe. I'm the grad program director and I'm also a professor in the Environmental Sustainability Research Center. I teach in the program, I do research in the program. My research is largely about oceans and climate adaptation and issues of equity. I love what we do here, and one of my favorite parts is interacting with grad students in our program. We also have Amanda Smits. Amanda, do you want to introduce yourself and what you do? Okay. Amanda Smits is our center administrator. She comes with a wealth of experience that ranges across political science, experiential education, sustainability broadly. She leads a lot of our partnerships in the community. We really emphasize working with people at the university and outside. And so Amanda will be always front and center in the center, really great support. We also have Erin, who is the center coordinator. Erin is also somebody who you will interact with all the time if you have questions about the program. Erin is a really pivotal and sort of central component of our program. We have two others, but I will introduce them in a moment. So that's broadly who we are. And what we want to do today is just walk you through what the program kind of looks like, so what you can expect from a master's and what the various options are for you. Then we also want to talk through some of the options coming out of your program, because I know a lot of people are interested in the program because it opens a lot of doors, and we want to talk through a little bit of that, and then have some time at the end for questions. So our Masters of Sustainability program has three schemes, we call them, which is essentially three options. And we'll talk you through what those look like. We have faculty from all over the university. We have professors affiliated with us in business, in biology, and sort of everything in between. We'll touch on that. We have guaranteed funding packages for our students, which is wonderful, and we'll touch on that. And then just talk you through some of the requirements and deadline for the program application. So the first scheme that we have is called the Major Research Paper, which we abbreviate to the MRP, and co-op stream. So students in this term, in this scheme, complete the first two terms of the program doing coursework. So that's September to December is term 1, January to April is term 2. And at the end of April, coursework is finished. Students in this scheme then have the opportunity to do a co-op placement, which is an awesome opportunity to go and work with somebody in the field and gain some professional experience, which builds your resume while you're in your master's. And then students in this option come back for one term of writing the major research paper, which is September to December. So in total, the program runs from September to the following December, so 16 months. Students who complete this option will earn the title of Master of Sustainability with the co-op, which can be really appealing, I think, to future employers. Next, we have Scheme B, which is the thesis option. Students in Scheme B complete the same set of coursework, generally, as the others. So from September through to April, the first two terms, you're here on campus, engaging in coursework. We'll talk through what some of those look like. And then students in the thesis scheme switch to writing, research, and preparing their thesis. So generally this scheme is attractive to students who know they want to go into research, whether that be maybe a PhD program or a research type position after graduation. And so this program is slightly longer. It's designed to be completed within 2 years or 24 months. And students who complete this program will earn the title of Master of Sustainability. And then our final scheme, which is the shortest, and maybe for people that want to go through as quickly as possible and go out into the working world. So students in Scheme B do the major research paper, but not the co-op option. So as with the other two, everybody begins with your first two terms are coursework. But this scheme goes then straight into writing their major research paper. So in its full length, it's a 12-month program, and students who complete this will earn the title Master of Sustainability. And I guess I will flag that most students who start in one of these schemes stay in them, but there is the option for a little bit of, if there is an option to change schemes if necessary. So don't feel too much pressure to know exactly which scheme is the right one, and always feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to talk through what these can look like. So just as an overview, this is kind of what the program would look like depending on which scheme you're interested in. So in term 1 here, everybody does the same coursework, and those who are doing the co-op option will engage in a co-op preparation course. Then term 2, this is January to April. It's continued coursework for everybody in all 3 schemes. And then it's term 3 where we start to get different. So in term 3, if you're doing your co-op, that you go into your co-op for the summer. If you're in the thesis scheme, you go into your research, so you're collecting data, maybe you're out in the field, you might be traveling abroad, so that's the research piece. And if you're in scheme C, you go straight into your major research paper and you're writing, conducting some research, and finishing up by the end of August. And then this is just the progression of the remainder of the program for the other schemes. And feel free to jump in if I'm missing anything, guys. So as I said at the beginning, I think one of the most exciting things about this program is we are very interdisciplinary. We realize that sustainability and issues of environment, climate change, social justice really cut across all areas of work at this point. And so we have really diverse faculty research interests, and we encourage you to have a look at the website, see who is affiliated with us and who you might be interested in working with. Just to highlight a few, Dr. Marilyn Carey is a remote sensing specialist, so she works with satellite data, imagery analysis, and that can be applied to answer all kinds of wonderful questions about urban forest, urban canopy cover, land use change, etc. Dr. Julia Baird is a Canada Research Chair, which is one of the most prestigious research positions in the country. She works on issues of freshwater governance, resilience, and that type of question or that type of area. And Dr. Todd Green is an affiliate from the School of Business, so he works with corporate social responsibility, and we know that that's a growing field. So just a point, a technical point, I suppose, is that we don't require that you have a supervisor that you've connected with before applying to the program, but rather we ask that you look through the faculty who work with us and you identify on your application which 3 you might be interested in working with, and that just helps us narrow down where your interests lie and where there might be a really good fit with somebody to supervise your research. So student life and research takes all different forms and pretty much looks different for everybody in the program, but just to highlight a few things, in the top left we've got Caitlin Carr, who is receiving an award for her research and presenting at a conference. So we try to make sure there's lots of opportunities for you to develop a really sort of holistic resume while you're in the program, so there's opportunities for you to speak at conferences. In the top right, we've got students who are presenting in a project management course at the Niagara Conservation, the NPCA, Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority. And project management is this wonderful skill that is relevant in pretty much every field that you might be interested in pursuing after your degree. And it's a wonderful component of one of the core courses in our program. In the bottom left, we've got students who are out visiting a site where they're using goats as a biomediation for invasive species. So we really value experiential education, which means we leave the classroom and we go actually see some of these sustainability initiatives in the real world. There's a lot of good research that shows that's a great way to learn and to experience. And in the final corner, we've got we are located in a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, so this is a wonderfully biodiverse and globally recognized area, so we prioritize getting out into the forest, talking about biodiversity conservation, climate action, etc. So that's just some of what the course often looks like. So just to continue highlighting sort of the diversity of topics that we cover in the program, and I should say that anyone is welcome to apply. It doesn't matter if your background is in business or history or biology. We take undergraduates from every discipline. And so when you come into the course, everybody takes a Foundation in Sustainability Science program, which gets us sort of all on the same page in terms of what it is and what's special about it. This is the Problem Solving in the Environment course, which is the Project Management course. It's one of the things that I wish that I had done when I was in grad school because it's so valuable. And then all kinds of elective courses that cover topics as broad as sort of equity and justice and transitions to sustainability, climate change adaptation and planning, landscape ecology. So in addition to the core courses that everyone takes, there's lots of options to sort of specialize. And just to show the diversity of topics that our students have covered, these are some recent thesis and MRP topics. So a student recently looked at environmental racism in Canada and looking at the proximity of environmental hazards such as oil and gas sites, nuclear sites, and how those are overlaid with minority communities in Ontario. There was a recent student who looked at Gen Z and sustainable diets and how that relates to climate change and perspectives. The students have explored people-place relations through place attachment and well-being in the context of the COVID pandemic and the risk of greenwashing in corporate social responsibility. So just to say, we ask questions across many, many disciplines, and there's definitely a fit for your research interests. I'm very pleased to introduce our two student ambassadors who are here. They are current students in our program, Cassie Burns and Madison Lepp, and I'll just maybe get you guys to introduce yourselves and your research areas.
Sure. And your schemes.
And your schemes, thank you.
Sure. Hi everyone, my name's Madison. I am in Scheme B, thesis. I am doing my research on climate change adaptation in Canadian municipalities, looking at different indicators that have been presented in theory of sustainability, so both resilience and equity, and how Canadian municipalities are holding up in incorporating those theories into their adaptation planning. I guess my experience with the program has been super positive. I've been able to work not only on my thesis, but also develop different skills and had opportunities to kind of work within the Brock community. I recently co-founded the Brock University Seed Library, which was through my co-op with the ESRC. And that allowed me to get the WWF grant. And so I guess that's all to say that the program has a lot of opportunities and, you just have to take advantage of them.
Awesome. And so my name's Cassie. I'm doing Scheme A, so that's the master's with co-op. My research is looking at community science and different dimensions that exist within it and developing strategies to help enhance these different dimensions. It's really nice because I'm actually sort of working alongside a community partner, Niagara Parks Commission, so I was able to collaborate with them and ask them what their interests are in developing this research. So that's been an awesome journey. I also did my co-op with them. So I was out in the field every day. We did a lot of invasive species management work. I was able to go see those goats that you saw in the picture in person. So a lot of incredible opportunities that you can take advantage of, like Maggie said.
Thank you, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of reasons for entering a graduate program, but one of them is to sort of open doors for future career paths. And this is a wonderful way to make sure that you are opening doors to these, meaningful and fulfilling careers. I would argue I adore being a prof. I think it's the most fun, and I'm very thankful for the job I have. Some of the places where our students have gone, they've gone honestly to every industry. We've got students who have worked with government sectors, that's local governments, so for example the town of Lincoln, provincial governments such as the government of the Northwest Territories, national governments. We've got alumni working with the Auditor General's office. We have students that have gone into the private sector and are working with businesses as their sustainability consultants or specialists. We've got students who have gone into some of the major bingos, which is a big international NGO, so things like the WWF or CPAWS or the World Conservation Society. So it really opens a door to all of those kind of sectors. Some of the jobs that our students have had are climate change specialists, climate change coordinators, which are now being required pretty much everywhere, sustainability consultants, planners, forestry technicians. Just to say that the careers are broad and increasing in this field. So we think it opens lots of doors, which is hopefully exciting. Yeah, so just to say that there is a baseline funding package associated with our program, which is really exciting. It's part of the decisions about where you go and how you can manage in the program. So in our master's program, there are 3 pieces, if you will. 2 of them are guaranteed. So there's a graduate fellowship, which is guaranteed funding from Brock. This amount is divided equally over 3 terms, and it's posted directly to your account at the beginning of each term. It varies slightly year to year, but you can Google those funding rates and they're found on the Brock website. The second guaranteed piece is the graduate assistantship, which comes in the form of either a teaching assistantship, where you'd be in a class, maybe helping with labs or helping with marking, or a research assistantship, where you'd be affiliated with an ongoing research project and assisting with that. The rate of pay is determined by CUPE, but again is available on our on the Brock website, and that is a bi-weekly pay. So those 2 pieces are always in place. But one thing that we try to do is look for other funding opportunities as well for our students. So there are many internal scholarships as well as external scholarships that we try to provide support to help students find and apply for, to make sure that it is enjoyable, feasible, and you graduate in good shape. So this is all on our website, but just to outline, the admissions requirements are an undergraduate degree, so a bachelor's or equivalent from an accredited university. We ask for a minimum of a 75% average over the last 2 years of study. And when you're applying, we ask for a couple of things. There's a resume or a CV, a written statement of intent, which is usually a page or so that outlines your area of interest and why you're interested in the program. Again, those 3 core faculty members who might align with your research interests, 2 references, and transcripts. And the application deadline is not until February 3rd, so you're already really ahead of the curve, which is wonderful in coming and finding out what the program is like, what it can offer. So you've got lots of time, which is wonderful. You're already doing well. That's the end of the formal slides. So now we're really pleased to open the floor for questions, if we can answer any now. And as always, you can always reach out to us via our email, which is SAS. That's the acronym for Sustainability, Science and Society Master's Program. And all of this information we covered here is also on our website. So thank you very much, and we're happy to take questions if there are any. Maddie, Cassie, you guys have questions.
Are there any online here?
Yeah, it's lots of information to process, but if you think slowly, which I do, feel free to give it some thought and then reach out to us via email. We're very happy to connect. Yeah, thanks.
I'm unfamiliar with how the coursework works in the graduate program and how that looks like in contrast to an undergrad program.
Ooh, that's such a good question.
Yeah, I would say the coursework is a bit different. You know, in undergraduate, it's usually you're doing all of your notes and quizzes, and then you're leading up to an exam. Whereas in masters, I've found that it's more paper-based. And so some classes you'll submit something kind of weekly, like a reflection, but other classes, most of your mark, the bulk, probably around 40%, comes from a paper in that class. But no exams.
Yeah, I'd probably just add that it's not like a lecture, we listen to a lecture typically, it's more discussion orientated, we have a lot smaller groups, so.
In some of the classes, you're the one presenting the lecture to your peers versus the professor kind of holding the most space.
Thank you.
And that's where like it matters that you're doing readings between things because like the discussion is 3 hours. It's not like you're
Yeah.
going and just relying on a person at the front of the room.
And some of your mark may be based on whether you participated in the class.
For sure, that makes sense.
But it's fun, right?
Oh, yes. I love the discussions. I miss it. I missed the first 2 terms. I would definitely say take it all in.
I'd say there's like different courses too, like maybe you can speak to like 5-3 in the project management course. It's very much like group work based.
Okay.
So there's projects that you're working on it as a group and being marked as a group too.
Yeah, I didn't take project management
Oh, yeah,
classes, so
sorry.
she could speak to that. But there was another class as well that did a group project. I believe it was methods.
Methods had one, yeah.
Yes,
where
so the
we're-
paper at the end of the year is a group project.
Yeah, so there's a couple of
Yeah.
opportunities, but that project management course is so much fun. So you get to work with an actual community partner, and as Amanda said, the class is working on the project together, like it's one big group.
For sure.
Mhm.
That sounds awesome.
And yeah, you take like little milestones along the way, complete objectives, and at the end of the day, hopefully present a project that's really valuable for the community partner too.
Curious, how does that work with, because I mean, through my whole undergrad career, it's, you know, the chunks and blocks of times where you're present in class, but for something like that where you're working with community members, that doesn't just fall within the class period. So for that class, was there the discussion based throughout the week, or maybe at one time, and then you and your group went on their own time and communicated with
For us, how it worked was that there were scheduled meeting times, so sometimes they would come in during our class. However, you do elect one person to be your project manager, and they actually have communications with the community partner along with the professor. So emails go out that way. And they did have a couple of meetings just virtually outside of time, but they were arranged. So it worked out for both students, the professor, and the community partner.
Thank you.
Any other questions online here?
No, not going to.
Okay,
You can say goodbye.
Yeah, well, thank you so much to everybody online and in person for joining us. As I said, if things come up or after you've digested, please feel free to email us. We are here and we'd love to hear from you, and thanks so much for joining us. I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, we can also share these slides with everyone who are.
Thank you. We'll share the slides so we've got all the info. Thanks, everyone.